Now to the latest from American International College in Springfield, where a fire caused during a lightning storm severely damaged a building on campus.
Now other local schools are offering to help in any way they can. Western Mass News reporter Glenn Kittle joins us live in studio with the latest. Glenn?
Thursday, fire crews responded to AIC's campus and arrived to flames erupting from the roof of Coronitis Hall, the health science building. Now we stopped by the campus today to see if there's been any progress made in cleaning up what remains of the building. We saw water damage recovery crews and what appeared to be people clearing off the building of any debris within a fenced-off area near Coronitis Hall. After Thursday's destruction, local colleges have reached out to lend AIC any help they can and need to make any necessary repairs. In a statement sent to Western Mass News, the president of Springfield Technical Community College, John Cook, says, quote, "With so many connections between our two institutions, we can only imagine what AIC students, faculty, and staff are feeling." I shared with President Benitez that STCC is ready and willing and able to help, and we know in any particular that our collective efforts with nursing education remains essential. We have also learned that Westfield State and Western New England University have also expressed their willingness to help the college in any way they can moving forward, and we'll continue to bring you the latest updates on this story as we receive them. Reporting live in the studio, Glenn Kittle, Western Mass News.